Hare Krishna, everyone, and welcome back once again to our ongoing lecture series on our most beloved Sri Vrindavan Dham. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastracha Desha Tarane. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, we're continuing with our mini-series on stimulation for ecstatic love, and this will be part 173, in which we will carry on with our present theme, the glories of Srimati Radharani, and of course our new discussion on her glances. Now, in Srila Rupa Goswami's Padyavali, I was reading the other night, we find two very beautiful verses referring to the special nature of Radharani's glances. The first one I found was Shloka 344, where Krishna is addressing Uddhava, referring to Radharani's eyes. He says, this is really nice, among the Vrajabasis, the gopis are the best, and their best quality is their sweet words. Among the gopis, there is one who is the best, and her best quality is her crooked, sidelong glance. And her best quality, Srimati Radharani, is her crooked, sidelong glance. Isn't that wonderful? Then Shloka 198, wherein one of Radharani's friends says to her, Radha, say something to the splendidly smiling, infallible personality of Godhead, who stands before you filled with loving desires. O fawn-eyed girl, sprinkle him with the flooding nectar of what? Your affectionate sidelong glance. Your affectionate sidelong glance. Hare Krishna. And in Ujjvala Nilamani, 749, we hear, once on the shore of the Jamuna, doe-eyed Radharani tilted her neck in a particular way and glanced at Krishna with dancing eyes, severely wounding his heart with the sharp tip of one of Cupid's arrows. I thought those are really beautiful verses describing the nature of Srimati Radharani's kataksha, her glance. So, today I would like to share a special pastime, actually, by the Vrindavan poet Gopal Kavi. He was from the 16th century, in which we hear how Radharani's glances are the very life of Vraja. That particular line appears in the pastime. Radharani's glances are the very life of Vraja. Now, what's interesting, it's a very popular pastime. And similar versions I found, each with a slight variation, appear in Vidagna Madhava, Govinda Lilamrita, Krishna Bhavanamrita, Ananda Vrindavan Champu, and Bhavana Sara Sangaraha. All those books I found. Similar versions of this pastime. But I found Gopal Kavi's narration a nice synthesis of them all, so I chose that version. But they're all pretty much the same, but slightly different. But this Leela takes place during the early morning pastimes of the divine couple. At this point in eternal time, Radharani was married to Abhimanyu and had moved from her childhood home in Varshana to her in-laws in Yavat. She was married, so she moved to her husband's home in Yavat. And it's interesting, she was followed and served there by her intimate friends, like Lalita and Visakha, sakhis. Now her husband, Abhimanyu, who, by the way, it's described as just the shadow of Krishna, was the son of Jatila. And Jatila, as we've discussed many times, she was always suspicious that her new daughter-in-law, Sri Radha, would sometimes sneak out and meet secretly with Krishna. This was her obsession. which of course Radharani would do with the help of her friends. So one time, after a nighttime rasa dance in the forest of Vrindavan, Radha and Krishna returned to their respective homes just before sunrise. Radharani, accompanied by Lalita, Visakha, and her Manjari servants, returned very quietly to Yavat. And entering the palace there, without anyone noticing, Radharani lay down to sleep. Now the author describes that even while sleeping, she softly chanted Krishna's sweet holy names. Even while sleeping, Radharani, she softly chants Krishna's sweet holy names. Then just as dawn approached, the first rays of sunlight began to illuminate that palace, that, by the way, was built by her father, Maharaj Bishabhanu. He built a palace at Varshana. We all know that particular palace. We visit there often on Kartik Parikrama. But he built another one for his daughter when she moved to Yavat to live with her in-laws. Out of affection, he constructed, it's described, an extraordinarily beautiful palace on the northern side of Jatila's residence at Yavat. Some detail there. This palace was decorated with ornaments shaped like a flock of shining silver swans. It was decorated with ornaments, and the ornaments were shaped like a flock of shining silver swans, if you look very closely. But when peacocks saw those ornaments from a distance, they thought, oh, a rain cloud has appeared. From a distance, oh, a rain cloud has appeared. And they would immediately open their tails in great happiness. But when they came closer and saw the silver swans, which are they're natural enemies of the peacocks, they quickly closed their tails again. So soon after Sri Radha had returned home and fallen asleep in the palace, her maternal grandmother, she has a grandmother, her maternal grandmother, whose name is Mukhara, entered the palace. Seeing the doors open, she entered and called out, "O respected Jatila, I hope you are well. Please tell me, where is my granddaughter Radha?" So Jatila, she's always in a bad mood, replied somewhat sharply, "She's still sleeping in her room with her sakhis." So Mukhara said, "Oh dear, it's already dawn and she's still sleeping. This is not very proper. I will go and wake her." So Jatila replied, "Yes, please do, and tell her to get ready now to leave the house soon to go for Surya Puja, to worship the sun god." So Mukhara entered the chamber of Srimati Radharani while Radharani was sleeping very deeply, and hearing the sound of Mukhara's ankle bells and the tapping of her walking stick, Visakha, who always sleeps nearby Sri Radha, woke up. And rising from bed, she gently tried to wake up Radharani. But Radharani didn't wake up. She was up all night, rasa dancing. So Visakha opened the curtains, letting the morning light enter the room, and so gradually Radharani awoke. And seeing her grandmother, she smiled very sweetly. She saw her grandmother, "Oh, Grandma." So Mukhara said affectionately, "Oh, my innocent granddaughter, you are the very sun of my life, but it is not proper for a young girl to sleep so late in the morning. Please arise and prepare yourself to worship Suryadev." But then, looking carefully at Radharani's clothing, Mukhara suddenly became suspicious. She turned and she said to Lalita, who actually never leaves Radharani's side, it's always described like that, "O Lalita, what is that yellow silk garment? Last night I saw Krishna wearing exactly such a cloth, and now Radha is wearing it. What's going on here?" Krishna's daughter. So Visakha replied sharply, "O old woman, have you become confused in your old age? What are you saying?" She's defending Radha. "Can't you see that the amber glass in the windows is reflecting the bright rays of the rising sun. And because of that reflection, Radharani's blue garment appears yellow gold. How improper it is to think such things as you do. So, of course, Purnamasi's arranged all this. So hearing this, Mukhara felt embarrassed and she quietly just left the room. Now, just at that moment, Shyamala arrived. And seeing her, Radharani said very warmly, "Oh, my dear Shyamala, I was just thinking about you, and by destiny you have appeared. If the tree of my desire to meet Krishna bears fruit so quickly, then this morning will certainly be auspicious." As soon as I can meet Krishna, she's thinking, everything will be auspicious. Shyamala smiled and said, "My dear Radha, you look tired. It seems that you and Krishna spent a very beautiful night together in the Vrindavan forest." Now hearing this, Radharani became a little shy. So she quickly changed the topic. She actually looked upwards towards the ceiling, where there was a painting of a dark rain cloud. Now seeing that dark color reminded Radharani of Krishna's beautiful complexion. And immediately she became overwhelmed with ecstatic love, and she fainted. Just seeing a dark rain cloud, a painted dark rain cloud. She wanted to change the subject, so she looked upwards and saw this rain cloud and then fainted. Then gradually regaining consciousness, she opened her eyes and said, "Oh Shyamala, when did you arrive?" And understanding Radha's mood, Shyamala replied very playfully, "Just now, when you were reminded of your beloved." Just now, when you were reminded of your beloved. Looking up. Then Radharani said, "Oh Shyamala, you are so cruel. For so long, my two eyes have been deprived of seeing that bumblebee-like Krishna. Without his nectarian darshan, these eyes feel like poor orphans. Why do you not take me to him? Why do you not take me to him? It's been so long since I've seen him." She's thinking like that. So Shyamala laughed gently and said, "Hey Radhe, you met Krishna just last night. Why do you speak like this? You met him last night." And Radharani's reply is so sweet. "Oh Shyamala, you speak like an uneducated person. Don't you know that after a flash of lightning, night appears even darker?" Wow. After a flash of lightning, night appears even darker. In the same way, after seeing Krishna even for a moment, the pain of separation from him becomes twice as intense. In the same way, after seeing Krishna even for a moment, the pain of separation from him becomes twice as intense. What an analogy. So then Shyamala looked deeply into Radharani's eyes and said, "O Radhe, your lotus eyelids are reddened with love for Krishna. Your eyes reveal everything. They describe your pastimes with Krishna last night. Whispering, playful quarrels, embraces, sweet conversations, the rasa dance, and many other loving exchanges that cannot be described with mere words. That cannot be described with mere words. These eyes of yours, and especially your sidelong glances, are the very life of Braj. Your sidelong glances are the very life of Braj. Krishna, the master of all arts, Kalanidhi, becomes defeated when trying to understand the limitless art of your glances. Your sidelong glances completely capture him. When the gopis see your sidelong glances, they feel their lives have become completely successful. O Radhe, your sidelong glances are like arrows released by the army of Cupid that strike Krishna directly. And struck by those arrows, the poor son of Nanda can hardly even walk. All he can do is beg again and again for another one of your glances. Beg again and again for another one of your glances. Wow. She continued, O Radhe, please do not delay. Come with me now to Nandagram. There waits a patient who has been struck by the arrows of your sidelong glances, the son of Nanda himself, longing only to see you again. And the poet concludes, Gopal Kavi sings that the meeting of the glances of Radha and Krishna is a sight longed for by sages, devotees, and rasika lovers of divine pastimes. Hare Krishna. Wasn't that a wonderful pastime? Glances, 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 Radha's glances. So I would like to conclude today in a very appropriate way with a reference to the same pastime. As I described, it's in many of our shastras, but here's another reference to the same pastime, along with the blessing as well, by our beloved Sri Raghunatha Goswami. It's in his Stavavali, Volume 1, Text 1. Now he entitles it An Appeal. And you'll hear a little bit of the same pastime. And he gives a wonderful blessing. He writes, Early in the morning, Jatila Devi met Sri Radha and her friend Lalita. Jatila noticed that Radha was wearing a yellow garment on her chest. Her eyes were rolling in sleeplessness, and a small mark could be seen upon her lips. Although frightened at heart, Radharani externally assumed an angry pose, became furious at Jatila's accusations, and together with Lalita, in order to defend herself, fabricated a network of seemingly logical lies. Afterwards, Sri Radha glorified Lalita for her skillful help. May Sri Radha protect you all. Hare Krishna, the yellow garment. All glories to Srimati Radharani's glances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, the revealer of the Dham. So that's class 4 on glances. We gave 9 classes about Radharani's eyes. So let's see how far we'll go with the glances. I'll see you next Friday. Such nectar, such nectar. Shri Shri Gauranitai ki, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Shri Radha Shama Sundar ki, Vrindavaneshwari, Srimati Radharani ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Gauranitai ki, Shri Krishna Sankirtan Yagya ki, Nitai Gopimanandi Jai Jai Sri Radhe Sham. Glories to Shri